It was good, everyone. welcome to a new episode of 2tallpodcast. I'm 2tall
and I'm Q,
and this is 2tallpodcast with D and Q. Thank you, everyone that tuned in last Monday. We got a lot of good feedback talking about the Jade and Ivy. I thought that was a good episode. Needed to be known. We're definitely doing part 2 down the road. That
was a good starter.
Yeah,
conversation starter.
Yeah. People are still crucifying him. So tonight we are going to talk about something a little bit different. So in a relationship, I think we talked about this a while back, but we can always dive into a relationship and traditional roles in the gay community, and it applies for anything, because there's women that take men roles and men that take women's roles sometimes. But we're going to dive in mainly in the gay community and talk about who takes on what traditional roles. There was supposed to be a role there. I'm going to fire my editor. In a gay relationship. Or does that even matter in 2026?
Right.
So I say this because, I have a family member who always comes at me and says that I'm the woman. Yeah. I'm the woman because I let my partner cook for me. And it had me thinking, first of all, forget you. Second of all, does that make me less of a man because I cook for another man? And it really bothered me because in a heterosexual relationship, the woman is always cooking for the man. But what if the roles were switched? What if a man cooks for a woman? Does that make him less of a man? And me cooking for another man, how does that make me less of a man? We both got to eat, right? So I don't know in 2026, why does that still matter? But apparently it does, and it was a hot button topic. Have you ever been in a situation where people question your traditional roles if you was with a partner or in a relationship?
Honestly, I haven't experienced it, but I know it's very common in a lot of gay relationships and straight relationships too. People just have certain roles or whatever, but it's a little different for us in a gay relationship because you have 2 men or 2 women or whatever, so we're not that traditional archetype or whatever. But I don't understand why in 2026 we're still holding on to those roles, whether that be gender roles or whether that, and especially in a gay relationship, why we even think we have to have a woman in the relationship or a man in the relationship. We are what we are. If we're 2 men, we're 2 men in a relationship. If we're 2 women, we're 2 women in a relationship. And who does what as far as cooking, cleaning, housework, paying bills, whatever, is I think it should be distributed between y'all as a couple. Y'all work that out. Whoever does certain things better or whatever,
I definitely agree. In a straight relationship, there's always been the idea of a man does this, the woman does that. But in a gay relationship, there's actually no blueprint. You got 2 men and you got 2 women as well. I'm always talking about men, but women's, they're doing their thing. Suffering, and I said knitting. So how do we really decide who does what? I give you a prime example.
Okay.
My partner, when he comes over, he told me from jump, he doesn't cook.
So those jobs you got.
He doesn't. He doesn't cook. He doesn't clean. No, he cleans. He cleans every now and then, but he doesn't cook or do house chores. Now he's lying because he cooks pretty well. Now when I'm at his house, he cooks. For me, he cooks. When I'm over at my house, he won't cook anything by himself. He won't help me do laundry or anything. That doesn't make him less of a man. Maybe it's my responsibility. This is my house. But it had me thinking, if we was to live together, I kind of feel like I wouldn't. And that's just me. I kind of feel like I would be the woman because I'm doing all the household chores. Not saying every woman does the household chores.
Right.
Usually, men does it, but why is it that from the outside bubble, people will think one, they would think I'm the bottom, and they would think I'm the woman. Why is that?
Well, I think you just asked a question that goes deeper into that, at least on the gay side of it. Your sexual role does not dictate what role you are in the relationship. Here's a good one right here. There are a lot of, I'm gonna say a lot, because I, over my life, have known a lot of drag queens. The majority of the ones that I've known are tops.
Really?
Yeah.
I always thought drag queens was bottoms, bro.
Most drag queens that I've known, and this is not to say all drag queens are, there's no 100% on anything, but of the ones I've known, and I've known a lot of drag queens, the majority of them I have, the majority of them have been tops. So what do you say about that? I mean, they literally dress up as a woman for a living. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's
and there are trans women who are tops.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They've got their breasts done and all that kind of stuff, but maybe they still have their piece and, you know, they're a top.
So just because I like to clean, and this goes for anybody, just because I like to clean house doesn't mean that I'm a bottom. I can be a top that likes to clean. But we have anything. We are so glued to tops, bottoms, and verse, and we think that defines what happens outside the bedroom.
Exactly.
You know, we truly do think that. You know, I'm verse, but I top more with my partner. He's a bottom, and I could just hear the phone call once this airs. But I told him, I addressed this. There's times where he gives off top energy because the way he carries himself. First of all, I'm going to be honest. Traditional roles go out the window when it comes to money, and we'll dive into that because he's good with money. He's very good with money. I'm not going to bullshit him. So does that mean that makes him the man because he's good financially, or he's just? Could I still, I guess, quote, take, and I'm like personally trying to get somebody's opinion because I always wanted this. Can I still take the lead even though financially I suck at finances and he does? Hopefully that makes sense.
Maybe in that department, he may have to. Yeah, go ahead.
No. I was just going to say.
Oh, yeah. Maybe in that situation, he might have to take the lead if he's better at finances. If you get better at finances, then maybe you slide into that role. But I don't think, or let me ask this question then. Why does there have to be a woman or a man in a gay relationship? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, like,
break that down.
You use two men, for example. If there are two men together, why does one of them have to be a woman? You're literally two men together. So
I'm not saying that society, for some reason, they get this idea.
True. And sometimes, not always, but sometimes in the gay community, we do too. And I know that's because the only examples we had were straight relationships. Like most of us didn't grow up seeing gay relationships. Lately, you know, in the past decade or two, there have been some things on TV, you know, TV shows and reality shows and stuff like that that have brought in more gay characters and stuff. But for the longest time, you didn't see any gay characters on TV. We saw characters that you kind of would assume were gay, but it was never outright said. You didn't see their dating life. You didn't see, they were usually like the comic relief in the show or something like that. Like the sassy man that's the woman's best friend. Okay, I'm assuming he's gay, but we never see him date anybody. We never hear him talk about any relationships or anything about his personal life. So we didn't have examples. So we only saw a man and a woman being together and the way that works. But part of the beauty of being in a non-traditional relationship is that those rules don't really apply to us because we're not a man and a woman together. So why are we trying so hard to fit into that stereotype or that type of role when that's not even what we are? You know what I'm saying? And I think people should do whatever makes them happy in their relationship. Whatever you do in your relationship between y'all, and whatever, if it works for y'all. But I don't feel like we should strive to be a man and a woman, or make our relationship look like a man and a woman relationship, because that's not what we are. That's just my own personal opinion.
So before we dive into that, I want to stay with the finances for a sec.
Mm-hmm.
So should somebody's role in the relationship in a gay relationship depend on who's making more money? Who's making the most money?
I don't think so.
Because I know in heterosexual, and it's mainly men that do that. It's very rare I see a woman. But in a heterosexual, a man feels like they're making more money. They think they're the head of the table, so to speak. Is that the same dynamic for a gay relationship? I don't know how much money my partner makes. I know he has 3 jobs and he could travel his ass off.
Mm-hmm.
But does that make him, like I said, the head of the table? Does that mean anything in a gay relationship?
I think it depends on that couple.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm going to use a straight example, but I think it still applies in a gay relationship. I'll use my mom and dad, for example.
Sure.
For the majority of my life growing up, my mom was a stay-at-home mom.
Mm-hmm.
She'd have jobs here and there throughout, but for the majority of it, she was a stay-at-home mom, meaning that the income that was coming in was generated from my dad working outside the home. However, my mom was taking care of like the housely duties, making sure the bills are paid and making sure, that the money was distributed the way that it needed to be distributed, even though he's the one out making the money. Not to say that my dad didn't contribute to that too, but like a lot of that, from my understanding, was my mom, making sure that the money was distributed the way that it needed to be, even though he was the one going out physically making the money, if you will. So if I transfer that over into a gay relationship and you got 2 men, let's say one makes more than the other, or one is the only one working and the other one is not. But what if the one that's working and makes the most money is not good with money, and the other one who makes less money or is not working at all is great with money?
Mm.
Why does the one who makes the most money determine everything financially? Okay. I mean, if that's the way their relationship is set up and they're happy about that, fine. But I don't think that it has to be hard and true. Like, this is the only way it could be. I think whoever is better at making sure everything is taken care of is the one that should probably be in charge of that, or at least mostly in charge of. Because at the end of the day, if we're a couple, we both want to win together.
Yeah.
By whatever means that is, and fuck what society says it's supposed to look like. If whatever is working for us, that's really all that matters, to me.
Easier said than done, but society is so good at for the weak, because I have the cojones to say that yes, I'm not I'm good. I'm blessed to have my job. I'm blessed to make money. I'll leave it at that. But I suck at saving. I suck at finances. He's real good at it. And I can pat him on the back. I don't care if he's the top, if he's a bottom, if he can hold himself down and we can work together. That should be what's more important. It doesn't really matter about the sexual roles or who's doing who. If he's good with finances, and maybe he can help me,
Yeah.
Pride comes in that too, because I know a man would never ask a woman for help. But then you got 2 men, mind you, 2 Leos, and we're both prideful.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't even like me giving him money. One day I wanted to, and I can already see he's going to hate me. I wanted to just give him some lunch money.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, no, don't do that. And that's all right. But maybe he felt some type of way about another man helping him out. I don't know. That's something I'm going to have to off camera ask him.
Mm-hmm.
But how would you felt if you was in a relationship? which is hard to believe you're single. You're such an amazing person.
Oh, so sweet of you. Don't cry for me. I'm
good. Yeah, you don't want a relationship.
I'm open to it. I'm open.
Oh,
I am open to it.
He lives in New York.
I live in New York.
If you was in a relationship and you had a partner that didn't want you helping him out financially, because it made him insecure and less of a man, is that his problem, or is that something y'all work together?
For me, it'd be something we work together on. I mean, if he feels that way or he doesn't want me to give him money, okay. I mean, if you don't want me to give you money, then I won't. But I do understand, as much as I like to try to be as open-minded about things as I can, I do recognize I also have that pride thing. If I absolutely need it, I will ask for it, but I don't like to just ask for money immediately off rip. I don't even like to ask for help, which is really messed up, but that's the man part that's still in there, and I like to think of myself as a very evolved man from the traditional caveman type man, but it's still in me. There's certain things that are still there, and asking for help is one that I gotta really need it if I'm asking for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I gotta be like, my back is against the wall and I don't really have any other options for me to ask for help. But I think in a couple though, I gotta talk about it and work it out and get to a place where both of you are comfortable with the way you relate to each other with money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely understand that. It doesn't make you less of a man. There are people out there, men and women. If your woman holds you down, now this one bugs me a lot because I never like to see a woman taking care of a grown ass man. Now, yeah, both finances are good. No, I call me old school regardless if I like men. I always like to see a woman hold herself down, and a woman. Back in the days when I was growing up, when I was little, I used to hear, "Oh, you got to do this for a woman. You got to do that for a woman." Mainly it was coming from women telling me this, and then the men around me, especially at the barbershop, a woman's supposed to treat you like a king and this and that. You're the man of the house. All that BS. Fast forward to 2026, me being 31, I still think a woman is a queen. Will always be a queen. I think they should be treated as a queen. Mm-hmm. But a woman that can hold herself down and doesn't really need a man, those are the ones I like. Because a man and a woman, but a man will throw in the fact of what he has done for you. Mm-hmm. They have more pettiness, or how my homegirls say, sassy. Kim will always say they're sassy. If a man throws in your face of everything he's done for you, and like in a petty way, yeah, that's pretty sassy. But then again, I love a woman that can hold herself down and not depend on a man. But there's a lot of women that still want a man to take them shopping and do this and do that. But you have to be worthy as well. You have to be worth it. You can't just think because you're a beautiful woman, that's a free ride for you. Mm-hmm. For you to just sit back and relax. I dated this dude a while back. I'm not going to say his name, but he was.
He just popped in my head.
Yeah, he was good looking, very good looking, beautiful man, thick, but he wasn't working, so he just popped up out of the blue, and I felt sorry for him. And I have a big heart. Seriously, my doctor said that I may not last next year because my heart's way too big.
Stop. Don't even say that. Take that out. You didn't mean that.
God forbid. But I do wear my heart on my sleeve. And we will always go out. I will always take him out. I will always give him money and everything. And then I said to myself, what are you doing for me? I know you're not working, but how is this, how are you,
reciprocating?
Yes, reciprocating. Excuse me, brain fart. And it was like I'm doing so much for you, and then I'm like I'm just being played. You're just using me for my money. There's no conversation, and if there is conversation, it's very dry. Fast forward to now, I'm talking to someone who's about his money. He works hard. He's a great man, awesome, and he won't even, he won't he, he won't even let me get $10 from him if I need it, and that's all right. He's he's I in my mind, and he thinks I'm cheap, but he's very not stingy. He just knows how to hold on to $1, and he knows how to save it, and that's okay. I always think that because he's not American, he's Haitian. Maybe that plays a role because Americans, we love to spend money. Maybe that plays a role. But I love the fact that he gets up every morning, he goes, works hard, all three jobs, and I love that. Um, I Now in that aspect, we both work hard. So who's the man?
You're both the man.
Bingo. We are both the man. We both get up in the morning. We go to our destination. We do what we have to do. We both talk. We don't live in the same house. And, he pays his bills. I pay my bills. If that's what should matter, not about top, bottom, man or woman. If we are both in a relationship and we're able to take care of ourselves and each other, that's all matters. But we are so fixated on, um, and it's mainly some of the insecure men that are are so upset with, oh, I'm fucking the top, so that means I'm the man, or I'm fucking the bottom, that's my vision, this and that. Um, I'm comfortable in my skin. I'm a I know my my bottom days are over. I'm more top these days, but top of
Oh, I literally was just clearing my throat. I didn't mean anything about that.
but top about it doesn't matter. I'm still a man. I'll
Yes,
be
you
looking
are.
for new co-hosts as I'm gonna fire him at the next episode.
Whatever.
But yeah, we definitely have to stop with that. So I got a question for the people at home, for you. Do you think gay relationships are healthier because we don't follow traditional roles, or does roles actually help relationships function better? That's a good one.
So here's where I'm at with it right now. And this is straight relationships and gay relationships.
Mhm.
I feel like all of these these roles that we've been taught that you're supposed to follow.
Mhm.
A man does this, a woman does this, or even in a gay relationship, one of them is the woman and they do this, and one is the man and they do this. Instead of all of that, because all that stuff comes from years and years and years ago when society was different, the access we had to stuff was different, just it was a different time. We were working with different things. Now in 2026, we have all kinds of technology. Um, there are different types of jobs. There are women are in the workforce. Like at one point they weren't in the workforce, so they had to be the domestic one because that was all they could do. They couldn't actually go out and work. Now you have women that work. Now you have women that make more money than men. You have gay relationships where one makes more than the other, or one is working and one is not. And when we talk about the money, we always look at it as just the money itself in the relationship. And I think we should view a lot of these things, a lot of these old traditions with new eyes and see, are they still serving us today? So like what might have worked 50 years ago in a relationship.
And this is for relationships in general.
Relationships in general.
Okay.
What might have worked 50 years ago, 100 years ago may not work today. But we keep trying to do it now because that's the way it's always been. And I think we should reevaluate how relationships go. We should reevaluate how we relate to each other in a relationship and make that fit what works for us now instead of trying to fit into a box of how it was in 1950 or in 1925. It's 2026 now. So if that stuff doesn't work, the way it was set up then doesn't work for our relationship now, why are we trying to do that? And this is where I was going with the money thing. We look at money as just the physical money that's coming in, who's making the most money or whatever. But in a relationship, it should be, since we're in this together, that should be the mindset. We're in this together. What helps us as a couple advance more? And are we both contributing? Again, I'll use this is man and woman, but I'm using my parents as an example. When my dad was working outside the home and my mom was not, even though she wasn't working outside the home, she still was, like I said, making sure the bills are paid. The house was clean. My dad never had to cook. My mom always cooked. He didn't even have to iron his uniform for work. She did that. She did the laundry. Like she did all of that other stuff. So he didn't have to focus on any of that. He could just go to work, come home and relax.
Mhm.
So and there would, and she would help, us, me and my brother, like with school and stuff like that. So they were both contributing to the relationship. Just one was bringing in the money and one was doing the other stuff. But together they held things down. So it was about them contributing and not necessarily who's just bringing in money.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
No, I definitely do. I definitely do.
Because they had a common goal to keep things moving forward as a family.
Is gay relationships? Do you think gay relationships are healthier because we don't follow traditional roles? I truly think we do, but you have some men that still think like a straight man.
Mm-hmm.
Like that book, Think Like a Man, Steve Harvey.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was a movie or a book? It was a both.
Both. A book and then a movie.
I think there are some masculine men. That's where we also keep forgetting masculinity and feminine.
Mm-hmm.
Femininity.
It's a tongue twister.
He's also my speech coach.
Yeah.
That plays a role as well because but I like the bottoms that are masculine and the tops are femme. Those are breaking stereotypes. Because when you look at a top, you think, oh, he gotta be masculine. Think of a bottom, you think feminine. Not bullshitting you. That's what it is. That's what people think. They're not gonna say it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're thinking bottom, oh, he's getting fucked. Top, bottom, woman. In the gay world, that's what people think. Well, the outside world and the inside.
Mm-hmm.
People outside the gay community and people inside. Top, they think, oh, he's the man, he's fucking. But if the roles was just, top is masculine, bottom is femme. But if there's no traditional role, it's not a man or woman. But I think it's healthier because we really don't have to follow those traditional roles, but we end up still doing. Me and my partner, we are both men. We both don't follow traditional roles. Um, I take him out. I cook for him. I'm still a man. I'm still me. He cooks for me every once in a blue moon, and he takes me out. We both take turns taking each other out. So, we don't really go too deep in thinking about traditional role. We're just two grown ass men that just want to have a good time and eat food, and have sex. That makes me a man. That makes him a man. It doesn't make us less of a man. Um, we don't need the traditional. I found this funny because we don't follow traditional rules. We both are so stubborn that we both said, did they ever come to propose? You know how in a heterosexual relationship, a man is supposed to get on his knees and propose.
Mm-hmm.
We are both stubborn, and he wants me to propose to him. I want to get proposed too. We're breaking stereotypes.
I think that's great.
We're the modern day relationship. But I think we need to get out of these roles and just live our lives, and especially when the heterosexual people, straight people, they see us and they think, oh, they do this a lot because they see that I'm 6'8" and he's 5'11". Who's fucking who? You never know. He could be fucking me. But I roll my eyes, but it can happen. I mean, it's not because he labels himself as a full bottom, and enough of, and I'm so whoever came up with these labels, like, you know, I want us to go deep in who came up with the idea of top, bottoms, and verse. I feel like I'm a fucking Pokemon or something, you know.
I feel like a lot of those things came from, again, us trying to emulate straight relationships. And we just kind of had this thought process. Somebody's got to be, or you know how they say
Somebody
in our community, well, who's doing the bending? You know, they say who's doing the bending.
Yeah.
But we have all these like.
Hold on one sec. That reminds me of that scene from Why Did I Get Married with Janet Jackson. It was like, oh, so you doing the bending?
Oh, that was why for Color Girls.
Oh, that was for Color Girls. Right. Yes.
Yeah. So you doing the bending?
Yeah.
Shout out to Janet Jackson. That's my girl.
I love you, Janet.
But we got these ideas, but there's so many stereotypes. Like here's another one, and I know this is true for sure. If you have two men together and one is super tall like you, it's already assumed, or even if it's not in the couple.
Oh my God.
If you see a tall man who's gay, you just automatically assume that he's a type because he's tall. These things are just stereotypes, but they're not always true, and we gotta let those go, because as long as we hold on to those types of thoughts, it makes us as people feel like we have to fit in those. And when we don't fit in it, we feel like something's wrong, or society will tell us that something is wrong, when we should all just be able to be who we are as a person regardless.
Or when a bottom finds out that you're 6'8" or you're super tall. I don't want to keep using me as an example, but if you're super tall and they find out that you're getting fucked, they're shaming you because they're assuming, oh, you're too tall to be taking dick, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I have done that before only because I don't like to have sex with somebody that's taller than me. That's like 2 World Trade Centers. It's just, you know, I don't. The closest I had in height that I ever had sex with somebody 6'4". Over 6'4", hell no. It's like an NBA you know, an NBA game happening in the bed. Too many legs, too many, you know. But yeah, I definitely feel that way, because there's times where people jump to the gun, or they didn't want to hit me up. Or back in the day when I was on Jack. Well, shut up, Derek. When I was on Jack, they'll view my page and they'll be like, "Hey, what's up, bro? How you doing? You're a good-looking dude." And they'd be like, "Oh, nah, I'm good, bro. You too tall." I'm like, "Okay." Or it'd be like, "Nah, I'm not looking for a top." I'm like, "I'm not a top. I'm verse." And that's another thing. They're like, "Oh, nah, I'm still good." Verse means I can give it and receive it, but we're so quick to jump onto that. The labels so hard that we miss out on a good time, mind you. And you know, but yeah, it's the label thing, and it's never gonna stop. We can sing this till we're blue in the face, but if the label thing is built around this culture, this community, and it's same with heterosexual relationship. If a man feels like they doing all the bills and they think they're that guy, you know. So yeah, it's even in my relationship. My partner, he's there's a wrestler named Roman Reigns, and he calls himself the head of the table, the tribal chief. He assumes he's 34. He works 3 jobs, like I said. He assumes he's the head of the table, you know, head of this relationship. But last time I checked, not this house, my name is on the lease. Mm-hmm. So, you know, all men, gay, straight, pansexual, robot, I don't care. All men get egos and they get a big head. Yeah. I'm one of them, you know, but hopefully we can stop with the labels and just live our lives. Men, women, if you're making more than your man, pat yourself on the back. Men, don't feel bad. Just get out there and match her energy, because at the end of the day, the goal is to both succeed, not just one succeed. Mm-hmm. You know, so that's go ahead.
Well, even I was gonna say, like, even in a straight relationship too, there are some men, heterosexual men, who are effeminate, and there are some heterosexual women who are masculine.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I have seen couples who are married who are actually straight. Obviously, they're married, but the man is kind of feminine and the woman is kind of masculine. But it works for them. Like, it works for them. They're definitely not traditional,
Mhm.
but you know,
So yeah, but we definitely need to stop with these labels, and
Yeah.
I guess yeah, just keep living your life. Men, women's, gay, it doesn't matter. You know, it truly doesn't matter. Um, just be who you are. Follow, not follow the tradition in the gay community. Just live your life. Let's just say live your life. I like live your life.
Yeah, I like that too.
Because I'm still living my life, even though my partner thinks in his mind he's ahead of the table. You know, he he has aspects where I think I can feel comfortable and I can trust him to lead the relationship, and then there's times where I feel I can really lead the relationship.
Mhm.
I leave it with this. He was at the Carly B concert a while back, and he told me when Carly B was singing "Safe,"
Mhm.
you know, because Cardi B's song was like she didn't feel safe with them, you know, until she
Mhm.
found I don't know who she was writing the song about at that time.
Right.
Oh, was it about the football player?
I think it's about him.
Then they broke up.
And then they broke up.
He thought about me because I make him feel safe.
Compliment.
Anytime you can make your man or your woman feel safe, period. That's all. Because there's women that can make a man feel safe in so many ways besides physical aspects. Um, so yeah, emotionally, yeah. You know. But we are gonna wrap this party up. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe.
Yes.
Let's get the word out. Let's get the word out. We're gonna keep doing this. I love doing this. I love having my good friend over here. You hit me like I was your uncle. You could have, gave me a hug and everything.
No, that was that man hit, Man over
here.
Man over here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what?
Short top. He's a short top. And he's pretty strong for a bottom, by the way, right?
I mean, I am strong, but
they seen your grinding profile. So it's alright.
No.
You don't want to see
Once
mine.
upon a time.
Mine's just too tall, too thick. I mean, I deleted it now, but it was too. Goodbye. Have a good night. I'm having speech problems. Like I'm too tall and too thick. So
that's actually a good name, though.
Yeah,
that was a good name.
Yeah, but I'm about to be too tall and too thick by making some tacos. So have a good night.
Y'all have a beautiful week. Love each other and take care of each other.
I just realized we didn't have the music in the background. I like to have the music in the background. So
let us know what y'all think. Do you like the music in the background? Yeah. Is it annoying? Is it calming? I like it, but
I like it. So
let us know.
We'll be back again next Monday. Have a good one.
Yeah, have a good one.